Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Love Wire podcast. We're your co-hosts, Shanese.
And I go by Matt. Thank y'all again for tuning in to another episode of the Love Wire podcast.
Yes.
We appreciate y'all.
So you guys already know we always start with a Love Jones segment, and today I have it, okay? So the Love Jones quote for today is, "Love doesn't isolate. If you have to cut off good friends and family to please your partner, you're not in a relationship. That's slavery. A person only isolates you so they can control you." So how you feel about that?
No, I think there's a lot of validity to it. I think certainly if your partner is requiring you to, well, requiring you and kind of monitoring who you talking to, how
Yeah.
long you talking to them for, want to know where you going, how long you going to be there. I mean, it's one thing to check on you and just to have an idea of what you're doing, but to try to control that is excessive and abusive.
Yeah, I have to agree. I feel like if there's anybody that's separating you from your loved ones, then that's definitely not in a not a relationship that you would want to be in. Um, I've come across like a few people that, when they're in a relationship, they kind of isolate themselves and do whatever that they want to do. And it's like sometimes as a friend, you kind of take it personal.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, wait, did I do something? Like, why aren't they talking to me? But in reality, it's like, wait, maybe you should check your friend and be like, hey, like, you good? Like, is everything all right?
Yeah.
Because you never know. Like sometimes you don't really, you can't tell if somebody's in a controlling relationship or not. But you
Yeah.
also don't want to ask because it's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Because like, how do you ask? Like, how do you ask that? Like, how do you ask if, oh, is your partner controlling?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you just ask if you're okay, and there's no good way to ask. You know what I'm saying? I would say that.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough because you don't want to, isolate your friend, um, or isolate yourself from your friend, and create that pressure to, disclose what's going on in their relationship or anything. Like that's still their relationship, but
Yeah.
um, just check on your friend. Check to see if they're okay. You know what I mean? You can ask why, why, like you said, like, why am I not seeing you as much as I used to? Why am I
Yeah, like
not?
what changed? Like, how's it
Yeah.
going? Oh, you got booed up.
Yeah, right. Right. Because to a certain extent, being in a relationship, it requires some sort of separation from the normalcy of your friendships and things like that.
What you mean? I don't get that.
Like I'm not about to be like, if I'm married, I'm not about to be going out every night with my single friends. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
things change in that way. Um but if it's just like I'm going on to lunch with one of my friends, like that stuff like that shouldn't stop.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's true. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna get, started on this here podcast. Babe, you got anything? What you got for us?
Um One thing I was searching the internet and just looking for, just certain relationship things when it came to millennials and
Millennials.
and the top problems that millennials face in relationships. Um, and one of them was communicating about conflict, and I guess just millennials having trouble communicating about
Issues.
conflict, communicating issues. Um, and we sort of touched on it before about how, like, when you're new in a relationship and everything's going good, you're in a honeymoon phase, but then when a problem comes, like, how do you deal with it?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people. I feel like there's different stages and different kinds of people. Like you have the shutdown person that they don't know how to communicate. It's like
Mm-hmm.
awkward for them. They don't know like what to say. And then you have the aggressive person
Mm-hmm.
that is more like verbally abusive. And sometimes they don't even really know that they're verbally abusive. Like they just kind of, it's like, you hurt me, I'm hurting you back.
Right, right.
And then you have the people that are good at communicating, but then there's like one other person that's not. I mean, I feel like there's different like variations of.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's different variations. I guess the sentiment in this was that when conflicts arise, millennials in general don't know how to handle them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because things are so personalized. Like millennials are so sensitive in a sense that there's no way to address a conflict without hurting ego. You know what I mean, or feeling attacked.
Yeah, but like, why do you think that is? Like,
The thought that came to mind was the idea that like we live in a generation where you pat everybody on the back and like
mhm.
kids get participation trophies and things like that, and the
You
idea,
did such a good
yeah, but you lost though. You know what I'm saying?
job. He said, but you lost
You know
though.
what I'm saying? Like it's one thing to encourage somebody, but sometimes that encouragement can lead to a development of bad habits.
Mm, that makes sense.
And you know as a generation, you have to, I mean, just growing up and developing, you have to be okay with losses. And I think that society has taught millennials in general
Like losing is a bad thing.
losing is a bad thing and there's nothing to learn from a loss.
Yeah. And that's not necessarily true. Like
Right.
if you lose in life or if you fail in life, that's okay.
Hmm.
That's called a life lesson. And that's how you build up, you grow from it, you learn from it, new chapter,
It's
new
okay.
season.
It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay
Yeah.
to say that like I was wrong. You know what I mean? Or I didn't make the right decision, or I did something to hurt somebody without trying to. It's okay to admit
Admit
to that.
that.
Um, Another issue that came up was jealousy over social media actions.
Yeah. I feel like now, especially with millennials, that's like a really, really
Hmm.
big one.
Yeah.
Being jealous over social media. Because I feel like a lot of people, like we had talked about this before, about how people are easily persuaded when it comes to social media and they want the life that other people have, or
Hmm.
just faking it in a relationship that everything is happy and it's really not. Like you smiling with your significant other, when they do the little pose, like the little freeze poses. I couldn't get it out.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like, oh, smiling. It's for real, it's kind of cheesy, but I mean, if it works for your relationship,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I just have like a big problem with things that aren't like authentic. Like, if you really trying too hard and it looks like you're trying too hard, I just laugh because I think it's funny
Yeah. Yeah.
because you
But
look real goofy.
yeah, I mean, and then also just like with the social media actions, like I know something that I had to overcome in our relationship was like replying to comments from guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that in social media reactions. And I remember there was one time, uh, just in general, like Shanice, she comments back to almost everybody that comments on her post.
I think it's important. I feel like if you take the time to comment, I'm going to take the time to reply.
Right. And so like my whole thing was that just it's not about her commenting, it's about the perception that it gives to certain guys. Because guys, a guy's mentality is that like if she responds to me,
Oh, she giving me time
yeah,
of the
like she give me
day.
time of the day. She got a man and she responding to me like, oh, he must not be doing something right. He
But
must
see,
not
that's
be
the thing though. Like that's when people are naive and they think that you're dumb, and it's really joke like the joke's on you. Because then they'll message and you won't get a response. You get deleted. So I
right.
mean,
Yeah, but I'm just saying like that from a guy that just knowing that perspective of guys,
yeah,
it's like a thing where it's like that guy thinks he won something or that guy thinks he has a chance,
yeah.
and the whole male ego thing is that like my girl better not let any guy think that he has a chance.
But how can you like? You can't really stop that because people think they have chances all the time. I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just playing, but no.
Right, right, right,
But
right.
like you
But
can't really stop that, and that's the same that goes for you. Like, you
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is that's something I had to work out
Yeah,
because a is social media.
yeah.
So
So don't take it so literal.
yeah, so I remember one time she had responded to some guy. This was like years ago, and I was upset about it. So I had sent it to my group chat with
Yeah,
my
I know you
friends.
you told the story already to them already.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm
He
gonna tell
about
it
to go
again.
through it all over with y'all again, but he
Hey,
already. This was like on episode like 2.
yeah. Well, other podcasts repeat stuff, so we gonna repeat it too. Um, but yeah, so it was just like the reaction I got was kind of 50-50. Some of them was like, "Nah, she tripping,"
And,
she ain't supposed to be doing that, and then half of them was like, "Bro, it's social media,
yeah, like don't take it so serious.
it ain't really that real." So you got to make a decision as to whether social media is that important. Like, how important is it for how's important to your daily life that some stranger is commenting on posts? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you that invested into what your partner is doing on social media? Like, does it mean that much? You know what I'm saying? Like, um,
I think too, like another thing that we should highlight on is just people feeling the pressure to put their relationship on social media though. Cause I
mm,
feel like a lot of people feel like because since that is a trend, you know what I mean? Like everybody's has vlogs and um have TikTok relationship TikToks. Like everything is hashtag relationship goals, right? So
mm,
I feel like people feel like they have to live up to that standard. They have to always post um relationship pictures. That's why I was saying sometimes I think it's cheesy because you can tell that they're not like organic, they're not being authentic.
right.
And it's like how do you still do that without losing who you are and who you are as a couple?
Yeah, I mean, I think we do it. I think because earlier on, like I wasn't so okay with like stuff being on social media. Like I don't,
Yeah, that's true.
you know what I mean?
It was a struggle even getting the picture. It still was a struggle getting the picture.
I just never really cared for it. And I think earlier on, it was kind of like I didn't understand why you cared for it.
Hmm.
But it became more of a brand for you, and that kind of changed my perspective. But
Yeah, because I wasn't doing it for attention. There's a difference.
yeah,
I don't do it for attention.
yeah. I mean, certain things I still like to keep private. You know what I mean? Like most of it we agree on. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I think the most recent thing was probably like our vows, like when our vows were being posted, and we decided not to have that on there. But like everything else, I think we pretty much be in agreement on. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like when it comes to your relationship, there's just certain things that's just not for social media. Like for real, it's like really none of y'all business. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
how I look at it. Like, yes, Matt and I do, this relationship podcast, and honestly, if you ask us a question, 100%, we're going to answer it like real. You know what I mean? Because we're real individuals and we have real issues too. We're not perfect. We're not relationship goals, any of that. Cause I mean, I really don't like that. Like, I hate that when people are like,
Mm-hmm.
y'all are like hashtag relationship goals. Like, no, 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 no.
Mm-hmm.
We're normal people. We have normal issues. We're not perfect. Are we happy now? Yes. Do we argue now? Barely. But that does not mean that we're perfect.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I was going to say today too. Like, cause I know that we're going to get into a topic that kind of it can send a message that we want people to live the same lifestyle that we did.
Oh yeah, no.
But yeah, I mean, so I did want to say that like we are by no means indicating that our relationship is how you should do things, and the fact that we waited so long to get married and get engaged, and that we've been together for so long, and
Doesn't
that
mean that it's the right way because there's no
right,
such thing as the right way.
right,
Your journey in a relationship is your journey.
right. But with that, we have learned some things about being in a relationship with another person. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, um, with that, we share our opinions and our experience with what works and what probably won't work. You know what I mean? Um, because not only do we have the experience of our relationship, but we have friends who what I mean are a little bit closer to us, and we see their ups and downs in their relationships, and you know, um,
And we still learn. We learn from them. Like
yeah,
even though we're in our relationship, but like their bad situations, we learn from.
yeah, the good situations we learn from, the good
Yeah,
situations we learn
even
from too.
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's all just a learning process. Whenever you're in a relationship, it's literally like a new chapter every more often than it should be.
right, yeah,
But it's the reality.
yeah. So I mean, with that said, I mean,
What?
did you want to go to
It's what I want to talk about.
yeah,
Yeah, sure. So, all right. So, whenever you're like in conflict with your significant other, like, how do you know when to bend and when is it a good time to bend? And if you're not good at bending, why aren't you good at bending? Okay, let me backtrack that because that that can be confusing to some people, to some listeners out there. So, I guess bending is more of like I agree or compromising.
compromising is a good word.
Compromising is a good word. Okay, so I'll use compromising.
Okay.
So when you're arguing with someone, like, how do you compromise? Like, how do you when we're okay? Let's put us like we're gonna be the examples. Okay, so whenever we're having a disagreement, you compromise a lot on a lot of things. I feel like I compromise too, but
Okay.
sometimes I feel like you might not see that. But but how do you like what makes it easy for you to compromise?
Um, I wouldn't say that compromise is easy. I wouldn't say it's like something that's easy to do because when you compromise, you're giving up something that you want for the betterment of the group or the team, the couple, whatever, the marriage, the family. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So it's not easy. What what makes it possible, I think, is just understanding that. I mean, I'm gonna give a mature answer first before I give my petty answer.
Oh God.
So the mature answer is that you work through difficult times with the person you're with. So like you understand that like even though like even though this may not be something that you truly want, it's something that the person that you're with wants. So you want to do for them. You know what I'm saying? Because you're with them, so you want to provide for your family, you want to provide for your marriage, whatever. You know, what I mean,
I agree with that.
that's the beauty of the compromise. Um, and so that's the integrity, mature part of
I can't
compromise.
stand him, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? So like the petty part about it is like it's like all right, so like I'm gonna let this go, and if it don't work out, then I'm justified. But if it does work out, then cool. Now you have to compromise something for me. You know
Yeah. See.
So it's a give and take too. You know what I mean? So like I know that if I want something to be worked out that I think would benefit us and she's not seeing eye to eye with it, I got to show that I trust her in order for her to trust me down the line. If that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of
You know what I mean?
sense. No, it makes sense. It makes sense. So, I guess going into like the Love Jones quote and being in a controlling relationship, etc. I kind of want to talk about how fast is too fast when you're in a
You didn't
relationship.
talk about compromise though. You didn't talk about how you compromise.
How I compromise?
See what I'm talking about? Did she just said that you don't think I compromise. She can't even talk about it.
No. Well, I mean, that's because I figured I came up with the question. I thought you answered and that was it. I mean, my bad.
We both answer questions.
I mean, I feel like I compromise a lot. Like, I agree with you. Like, I feel like, well, for one, it takes a lot of love, okay, to compromise and to say, okay, like I'm gonna work on this and and try to be better for you. I feel like for me that's compromising. Like if I'm working on myself, it's something that you don't like that I'm doing that's like a bad habit, and I try to fix it, and I'm working on fixing it. Like that's just an example,
Right,
but that's compromising.
What are you compromising in that though?
I'm compromising. This is put me on a spot.
Because when you say when we call it compromising or bending or something, there's something that you want, there's something that you like doing or that you benefit from.
Yeah.
That you're no longer willing to benefit from in order to satisfy the need or want of something.
I feel like I'm satisfying you, and particularly I feel like I'm satisfying you because like if there's something that you don't like, I'm making a compromise to fix that. I'm fixing it for you, but I'm also fixing it for us.
What are you losing though?
What am I losing?
Right.
The habit.
So that makes it seem like I'm trying to get you to change good habits, like habits that you like.
I mean, that's the only way that I can explain it. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I guess because for me, I guess compromising is not a good word because I feel like if there's something that's bothering you, like, and I see that it's bothering you to the point where it's like you're not happy, and my goal is to make sure that you're happy. And if you're unhappy, that means that there's something that needs to be fixed. There's something that we both need to agree that needs to be changed. So like I feel like I don't know if compromising on my end is a good word because it's not to me it's not a trade. Like I'm not trying to benefit from it. I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to make it I want it to be to end. I want that energy to end. For me, it's more of like the energy, the flow of things.
Mm.
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not trying to benefit from anything. My benefit is that we're okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
I don't
I
know
guess
if
yeah,
compromising is a
compromise
good
wouldn't be a good word.
word for me.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be because like I said, like when you use the word compromise in
That's why
anything.
I said bend, because I feel like bending is like you're trying to, you want to bend because you don't want to be so selfish and so self-centered that you're not taking the time to realize what's wrong with the other person, what's bothering the other person. So
Instead of like what focusing on yourself or
exactly, like
okay.
focus on yourself, and you're so selfish and self-centered that you're like, okay, whatever, like you're not willing to bend. You don't care.
Right.
So that's why I use bend.
Yeah.
Lost the earring.
Yeah, I guess like my overall thing is that like when you like whenever you're thinking about that, whenever you're thinking about bending, compromising, whatever, sacrificing, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
the idea of it is that you're currently doing something that you've enjoyed, you're comfortable with, you're you enjoyed and you're comfortable with, and now you're becoming uncomfortable or doing something you may not enjoy in order to meet the needs of something else or someone else.
Oh yeah, I feel like when
So
you're in your relationship, you're gonna be doing that all the time.
yeah, so that's just the message I wanted to like to send to the Love Wire podcast listeners.
The Love Wire podcast listeners.
Okay.
Okay, so can I talk about the topic that I want to talk
Yeah.
about now? Am I out of punishment?
You wasn't on punishment. You just didn't talk about the topic.
It's okay. It's okay. Well, I really wanted to touch on this because I feel like it's important for our listeners to. I don't know. I just feel like it's a topic that needs to be said. And how fast is too fast? Like whenever you're in a relationship, yeah, that's really the question. Like how fast is too fast, and that could be with anything.
How fast? Too fast to what?
That could be anything. That can be with like getting joint accounts. That can be with moving in with each other. That can be with um wanting to have a baby. Like how fast is too fast? It could be literally anything in a relationship.
I hate honeymoon phases. I
I
seriously do.
know.
I hate honeymoon phases.
Honeymoon, I feel like, okay, so what we mean by honeymoon phases, usually honeymoon is anywhere between 1.5 years in a relationship, right? Like, would you agree to that? Like, I mean, I guess that's the Love Wire's definition. Do you agree with that? Like like an hour. I can't even talk. 1 year and like a year and a half in a relationship is your honeymoon stage. It's where you're not really sure if you're going to be with this person, but right now they're making you happy.
Well, I think these people in the honeymoon stage are sure that they're going to be with this person.
That's true.
I think they're absolutely sure that this is going to be the person that they're going to be with for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, I feel like the honeymoon stage is a dangerous place to be. But honestly, there's some people that actually like work. I mean, like 5%. There's like 5%.
The only people that I know that have worked, like I know people who met each other and within 6 months were married, and they worked, but they're old and Caucasian, and you know if you dive deep into their relationship, they're not really happy with each other. They just tolerate each other.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. You never want to be in a relationship if you're tolerating someone. That's a whole nother thing. We're gonna jump into that a little later.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, the thing with the honeymoon stage is that, like, I hate it so much. I really do. I really, really
because
do.
it causes you to make stupid decisions. Honestly, like that's really the
Stupid
reality.
decisions, and it's just like you have to understand that things aren't going to be good all the time, every time.
Yeah.
Like that's completely delusional to think that this is the greatest time ever and it's always going to be this way.
Yeah.
Like you're not ready for love. You don't understand love, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I have to agree with that because I feel like this is just like kind of like tricky. You guys know that's my famous word. I feel like I'm over here pinching my neck. You know I'm stressed. I'm over here pinching my neck. But yeah, I feel like the honeymoon stage allows a lot of people to become blind to a lot of the signs that if you were on the outside looking in, you would notice like firsthand. So I feel like that is a thing. Yeah, and I just feel like you make a lot of like dumb, irrational decisions when you're in your honeymoon stage. And Honestly, like I feel like the feeling of being in the honeymoon stage is such an like a exciting feeling because you have all the things that you either thought you wanted or you think you have.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that it comes strong, and like if you were lonely, now you have somebody. If you were, what I'm saying, just wanted somebody to tell you that they love you and they like you, you have that. Like
it's
you
more of a
have,
comfort.
yeah, like you have all those things and you feel comfortable, but like you really don't know a person. Like, and that, I guess that's the thing that kind of annoys me. And like I said before this, like we're not saying that like you should follow our blueprint because everybody's blueprint is different. But if
And
you're
we did say that there's some people out there that this actually does work.
it
Like,
does, but you know what I'm saying, like
but don't be naive.
yeah,
Like you can't be. Like you really can't. You can't be naive to it. Like you have to not allow your emotions to you can't allow your emotions to guide you in anything really.
yeah,
You have to be able to think logical.
yeah.
Because if you allow emotions to guide you, sometimes, or actually, majority of the times, you're not where you want to be at all.
I mean, and then I completely understand that like love is not a business, but like if you think of yourself as like a business, you work so hard to build the business of you. Like you went to school, like you got your credit right, you working out, whatever it is that you did to build yourself up. And then when you're meeting somebody, that's like going into a partnership with another business.
Mm.
And so like, why are people so quick to just join this partnership with another business that you know very little about and won't know
Yeah, because that
much about?
business can be scammers, and when I say scammers, I mean like crazy people.
It
If
could
we're gonna
be,
if we're gonna bring it back to the actual person.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then like sign things that can seem like love, strong love at first can be controlling and abusive later. You know what I'm saying? So
Pay attention.
you
Stay
just
woke.
yeah, you just gotta really be mindful of like what you doing. You know what I mean? Like that's why I just completely dislike the honeymoon phase because it's delusional. It's like being drunk. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like sitting there watching an annoying drunk person going to rant about life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just annoying to watch because they're not being rational. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like I would rather you do your honeymoon phase in private and then start going crazy about what your plans are and what you
Yeah.
want to do after like year 2.5, year 3. You know what I'm saying? Which I personally think would be too soon, but it's more understandable if you know somebody for 2 or 3 years.
And that raises another question. Is like how like when in a relationship do you feel like you know somebody? Like I feel like when you're dating someone, guys, when you're dating someone for the first couple months, you don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what their anything. Like you don't know their nervous habits. You don't know their triggers. You don't know how they like things, where they like things to be put, bad habits. You know nothing.
You don't know anything.
You know nothing. You
Anything.
literally know nothing.
You think you do because of what people are telling you, but you don't. That's why this annoys me.
You
It's
know,
like
he
like
over here
it like
getting
it
mad. What
really
you getting mad
because it
for?
really does, man. It's like I just don't understand people's willingness to just trust so easily. Not
Mm-hmm.
trust. Let me not say that because it's not that people should go around with the mindset of like the world's out to get them, but like something like when you talk about marriage and moving together and combining finances and just like combining this life together without knowing that person, it's just a little ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's definitely true. I mean, I don't know. So I guess that makes you ask the question, like, I don't know, is it an act? Like with whenever you're in a honeymoon stage, you don't really know who you're getting. So it could be an act because some people do things to please other people. They say the right things to please you, etc.
Yeah, I mean it is an act. I mean that's what you're doing. Like
Hmm.
I mean that's typically what people do. I mean I don't know how many people get into a relationship and from the beginning like they're an asshole or they're disrespectful or they're
That's true because it's always like he wasn't like this in the beginning or she wasn't like this in the beginning. I don't know
mm-hmm,
how she ended up so crazy.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so like,
But it's so hard though, because it's like, what steps do you take? Like, how do you know that you're in that situation? Like, what are the signs to know that you're experiencing that? Because some people don't know the signs. Like, what
yeah,
are the signs?
I think moving fast is a sign. I think you should be able to. I mean, it's like setting a boundary. Like it's the same thing. Like if you're starving for a relationship and you really want a relationship and like you jump at the first thing that seems like a good one. Um, you have to get in the habit of just pressing pause a little bit and giving yourself a timeline as to like when you're going to start doing certain things.
Yeah.
Um, like some people like they have a time frame as when they're going to have sex with the person. Some people have a time frame as far as like when's a good idea to meet the parents. A timeline for when's a good idea to start talking about actually like coming out and going public as like a couple. You know what I mean? Like just setting those boundaries so that you know
Almost like so that way you're protecting your space.
right. Right.
Yeah.
You're protecting your space against yourself and that person. So like if you know that like, man, my past 3 relationships, man, I got into it so fast, I didn't know who I was getting into. I got hurt and I just don't know like what it is with people.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not people, maybe it's you. Maybe you need to start setting those boundaries and maybe you need to start, you know, setting a time frame as far as like when you're going to be doing X and Y. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um, people be so picky about like a person's looks and what they want in a person. Like, oh, they got to have a good job. They got to, what I mean, look this way, look that way. But like, what about being picky about how somebody treats you? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Cause you deserve the best.
mm-hmm,
Whoever's listening to this, like, you deserve the best. And if it takes you 5, 6, 7 years to get that,
mm-hmm,
so what? But at least you took the time, and in that process you figured out who you are as a person,
yeah.
and you know exactly what you want for you.
And you don't have to rush anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like people feel like they got to rush into doing things. Maybe it's because of age. Maybe it's because like the other person's rushing them. Like maybe the other person really wants to start a family. Maybe the other person really wants to move in together or do whatever.
Mhm.
Um, that doesn't mean that you have to rush. And if that person is truly for you, they're not going to rush you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like because some people just want people that's going to say yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a sign of being controlled. Like if y'all in 3 months and they say like yeah we should move in together or yeah we should get married and you're not comfortable with it and you say no, then that no should be accepted. If they're pressuring you to say yes, then that's a sign that they're trying to control you. They are trying to formulate things in their life and have things conform to them, and you're one of those things. So
Yeah. And I guess that, like, how this is a weird question to ask. Like, how soon is too soon to move in with one another? Because I feel like like we were dating young, and we lived together for like really young. But I guess it would do it. Does it depend on the situation? Like,
yeah, I mean our circumstances was different. Like it sort of was like I didn't have anywhere to go, so
yeah,
you know what I mean. Um,
I feel like this is a tricky one because I feel like this is depends on the person.
yeah. I would say that when to move in with each other, I would say like probably year 2, you should start talking about it.
I agree with that.
Like year 2, start talking
Because I
about it.
mean, regardless, when you're in a relationship, like, y'all gonna be staying over each other's places anyway. But it's
Hmm.
still good to have your own personal space.
Yeah, because just in case like it doesn't work,
Yeah,
then
you have an outlet to
like you're
go.
not stuck dealing with like okay, so we have a lease and or we have this house in our name or we have whatever in our
Yeah,
names
because what
and
if you want to kick that person out? What you gonna do?
right,
Ooh, ah.
right. Because you got to understand like a lot of these decisions are permanent decisions. You know what I'm saying? Or not? Or some of them are not permanent, but it's hard to like separate from them. So like if you're diving that quick into things with another person, like you got to realize that like when it comes to figuring out like what happens when y'all break up, like that's creating more stress. You know what I'm saying? So could be
Mhm.
completely sure that this is the person. Like this is your person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
And sometimes you think that that person is your person and it's not really your person. But don't be blinded by the things that you think you like or
Mm-hmm.
that I don't know.
And
It's
to the people that say, well, how do you know that? How do you figure it out? Like, it takes time.
it
Like,
does.
that's the only explanation, is that it takes time.
It does. But I can say that I do recommend. Now, again, this is just my opinion, but I do recommend that you live with someone before you marry them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, there's a stat on that somewhere. I think it's like, I want to say it's upward between 70%. I'm not 100% sure, but
70% what?
like like I think the number is like 51, 52% of people of marriages in the divorce, and then like 70% of those divorces, or no, 70. I think 70% is financial, but then another big portion. I don't know the percentage, but another big portion of it is couples who just started living together when they were married. Those marriages are not really successful.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's because, like, again, you don't. I don't know how many times we got to say this. You don't know the person.
You don't.
You don't know them.
You
Like,
really don't.
that's if you took nothing away from this podcast today, if you in a
You
relationship,
don't. You don't know them.
if you've been in a relationship with somebody for less than 2 years, you have no clue who they are. If you haven't been living with them for that 2 years, you have even less of a clue who they are.
It's so true. It's true. Listen, you can run the stats yourself if you want and look it up.
I mean, there's so many different examples. Like, when you think about, like, kids, your nieces, your nephews, whatever, like, there's certain things that you pick out about them by being with them every day that the person that doesn't spend that much time with them won't be able to tell.
Yeah.
Like, kids say, like, oh, my kid is so smart because they do X, Y, and Z. Those are things that you notice and you pick up on a daily basis that somebody outside of your home is not going to realize. You know
True.
what I'm saying? So it works the same way when you're getting to know an adult. Like, until you're around that person every day, until you wake up with that person, you hear how they sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see their morning routine. You see, you know what I'm saying, what they do in their downtime. You see, like, how they interact with people when they're upset. You know what I'm saying? How they act when they're upset. Like, there's a lot of different variables and factors. Humans are dynamic. We have a bunch of different emotions. There's anger, there's jealousy, there's sadness, there's all types of emotions. And the only emotion that you experience in the honeymoon phase is happiness, lust, and maybe another positive one. So there's a range of emotions that you're missing from this person that you're not going to see until you spend time with
Yeah.
that person.
Yeah, and also too, during the honeymoon stage too, I feel like when you're communicating, and I feel like sometimes it's easier to communicate because people like both of you are more prone to more. I feel like when you're in a honeymoon stage, you're more aware of other people's feelings. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just what I
Mm-hmm.
think. I feel like you're more prone and understanding towards the other person's feelings. So, in the honeymoon stage, you don't want to upset one or the other.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
it's easier.
yeah,
It's a lot easier to communicate.
yeah.
But that doesn't. I mean, the longer and longer you go in that relationship, you'll realize that things have been suppressed
Mm-hmm.
and they come back to the light. Like, well, you used to do that, or you used to do this. And the reason why we say this is because this is something that we even experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's certain things that we didn't think were issues, and then later on in our relationship, we realize, oh, you really did have a problem with that. Well, then why didn't you say something?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Because you're still dealing with their representative in a lot of ways. Like,
He's still talking about this business.
no, I mean, that's the saying though. Like, when you meet people, they present their representative, not their true self.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
Like, so, and then you have to think, like, for all the things that you feel about yourself, and a thing, because another thing is that people, like, they feel like, man, I know that I have this problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to relationships, people, whatever, and I don't want to show this person this problem, and so they spend time trying to hide that problem, or hide from, a flaw being exposed to help please this person.
Or to please others.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, too. Like,
And you got to understand that people may also do that for you as well. Like, they may be trying to hide their flaws and hide their insecurities or imperfections
yeah.
so that you don't get turned away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very interesting place to be. Like
Yeah,
that's for sure. Um,
yeah, I can't relate,
he said I can't relate.
but I support y'all though. I support y'all on your journey.
Yeah, I think it's just important that if you just to take away from this podcast that there, just take your time, really.
Yeah.
And we're not saying that if you happen to be moving fast, but you think that you're happy. We say
Hmm.
think because like it's just we're just different people, okay? Like we have an opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, people are generally happy in their honeymoon stage.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that it's like it's clouded.
it is.
It's very clouded.
It is. But you know, out of if you are experiencing this, and out of again, like we said, there's a small percentage of people that actually it literally works.
Mm,
But that love at first sight type things is only on TV and in the movies.
mm.
Um, so you have to work towards that. You have to work towards a strong
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah.
You have to work. There's a lot of stuff like
That's
that.
what I wanted to say. I wanted to, just kind of
What?
boast a little bit because, like, another thing about this, like, yeah, we said that we ain't trying to have people follow our blueprint or whatever, but we put a lot of work in. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a lot of work, and this is a lot of like patience. There's a lot of tough nights. There was a lot of times where we questioned whether we were going to be together. You know what I'm saying? Whether that
Mhm.
be together or whether that's something we said to each other that we thought privately. You know what I'm saying? So like it ain't like this didn't come about through just an easy roll. Like there was a lot of bumps. There was a lot of like heartaches. There was a lot of nights where we both cried. There was a lot of like tension. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like so like this is work. This is, you know what I'm saying, effort. And
Every relationship takes that.
yeah, that's why it frustrates me to that level is because like you don't understand like what this takes.
Mm-mm.
There's no, it's like anything. It's like if you got a successful, I'm going back to business. If you got a successful business and you put in so much work into your business and you see somebody come out the gate and thinking they about to just snap like that, it's like, come on now. Like you don't even know the half of what you got to do to make it to this level. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my little soapbox thing. Like we are here because we worked hard to be here.
And it's
You know what I'm
something that we
saying?
both wanted. Like I feel like both of you guys have to want it in order for you to succeed to where success in a relationship is defined for you.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
And I don't think we really defined what our relationship was going to be. I mean, I guess we knew we wanted to get married, but like,
I think we didn't define it. It was just something that like we wanted. We just wanted to be good people.
hmm,
Like we wanted to be good people individually, and we wanted to be good people amongst each other. Like we wanted to always like respect one another, and that's really what it is. Like we just really genuinely wanted to respect one another, and it just happened that we love each other. Like we're
yeah,
in love with each other.
yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to like just throw that out there. Like, it takes work. It takes a lot of work. It ain't easy. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yes, love. I think I said this last week. I found myself saying this a lot to just like clients, but yes, love is filled with those good emotions and that joy and that happiness, but it also has dark corners. You know what I'm saying? Love is not easy. Love is not always a good feeling. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And the decision to love somebody, it's going to require you to feel a little pain. It's going to require you to, not be liked and, you know what I mean, argue. You know what I'm saying? Because you're fighting for the good of that person and yourself.
It's true.
So that,
Dang, we came a long way.
so that's why I just like honeymoon stages.
Yeah. Well, that was definitely the moral of the story. That was a
Mm,
long-winded one, though.
yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Nah. I think we good.
Yeah, I think this one was like a short and sweet podcast, guys. I feel like, if anything, we really just want you guys to know that we are, authentic, we're organic, and we try our best to literally give you guys our opinion. And we don't want to be relationship goals at all. Listen, we do not. Okay?
Mm,
Disclaimer. But we also want to share our experiences with you guys and hope that you learn from our mistakes learn through our struggles, our current struggles, and yeah, that's really pretty much it. And really just want to say thank you so much for just supporting us during this podcast. You know, it's fun.
Yeah, no, it's really fun. It's and thank everybody for the feedback. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, this is just we are here because we like to do this, and we also here for you guys. So
yes,
you know what I mean. So any questions, like she said, we gonna answer them.
Good or bad.
Yeah, like
Uncomfortable or not.
yeah. So you know, we are here for the support. We thank you for your support, and yeah, we'll see y'all next week.
See y'all next week. Deuces.
Out.
Out.